Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So this is a hearing about unleashing America's workforce and strengthening the economy. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything is normal. My mother was a small business owner. I have family members who are small business owners. But right now, there's many unprecedented and illegal actions that the Trump administration and DOGE are taking against the federal workforce. Donald Trump and Elon Musk and DOGE have fired more than 30,000 federal workers across the country, and with what appears to be little planning and even less justification. Needless to say, this has created an enormous amount of chaos, which is harmful not just to the federal workforce, but also to the economy. I just did 5 town hall meetings in Oregon, and not just in urban areas, and people are stressed and really anxious. They're concerned that Musk and DOGE are accessing their sensitive personal data and the government's previously secure and confidential data systems. They're worried about social security numbers, their home addresses, citizenship and disability status, work records, family income, and maybe bank account information. Well, now, I believe it was yesterday, the White House said, well, Elon Musk isn't in charge of DOGE. Well, maybe that's because Elon Musk now appears to have access to his business competitors' tax records and financial information in what could be a pretty flagrant and massive case of corporate espionage. So let's just say people are really concerned, and that's having implications. So despite the title of this hearing, the American workforce has not been unleashed, and our economy has not been strengthened, quite the contrary. In my home state of Oregon, agricultural researchers in rural Oregon were purged as a result of cuts at the USDA. The Oregon Health and Sciences University, Oregon's largest recipient of funding from the National Institutes of Health, could lose tens of millions in federal funding. That's going to halt medical research and upend the lives of patients and with the work of scientific researchers. The cuts to the U.S. Forest Service will leave Oregon more vulnerable to wildfires. And shockingly, about 100 staff at the Bonneville Power Administration, their purging could leave Northwest Oregon and the entire region facing brownouts and blackouts. So that would be devastating for the entire economy of the Pacific Northwest. And it's especially outrageous because the Bonneville Power Administration is ratepayer funded, so it doesn't save any money, but still those people were purged. So there's a lot of chaos out there. And now Bloomberg is reporting that this mass government employee termination that we've seen at other agencies is happening at the Department of Labor. So Dr. Shearholtz, I'm going to ask you, because I know Ms. Melito talked about how we have to resist uncertainty. There's a tremendous amount of uncertainty. So Dr. Shearholtz, if Elon Musk and DOGE fire large numbers of employees at the Department of Labor, safety inspectors, people who assist with unemployment or workers' compensation or do the other work of the department, what effect does that have on the working people in Oregon and across the country, but also what effect does this kind of chaos have on the economy overall?
This has a devastating effect on the ability of DOL to do their work. The chaos and attacks on federal workers will deeply harm the Labor Department's ability to attract and retain top talent, for example. When career officials feel undervalued or face instability, which is clearly what the Trump administration is trying to make them feel, it slows policy development, it slows policy implementation, it weakens enforcement, it ultimately just hurts their ability to serve America's workers. And I believe that is a core reason behind the actions of the Trump administration. It seems abundantly clear that the administration views that as a feature, not a bug, of what they're doing.
Well, how does that affect the economy overall?
It puts the big strain on the economy. So one of the things I think that people don't understand, that like the work of federal workers is so much a part of our daily lives that people don't even understand what is happening. Like, you go into the grocery store, you know you can buy food that is safe because of the work of workers at the Federal Food and Drug Administration. You drive on roads and you know you can arrive where you want to go safely because of the standards and the enforcement of the Department of Transportation, and on and on and on. Though the crucial work of our federal workforce is what is the underpinning of public services and our stable economy. And you gut that workforce and you see a lot of those things crumble. And the other thing that is useful saying, our federal workforce is tiny. It is already very, very shoestring. It is less than 2% of all payroll employees. The idea that we're going after this workforce that is protecting the American people is just outrageous.
And I just want to thank you, Dr. Shearholtz. I just want to emphasize again as I yield back, that these purges of federal employees are going to create long-term harm. But also we have thousands of people now additionally unemployed because they lost their job with some promise of payout, which apparently has not been authorized. So again, uncertainty is what's happening, not what this administration is fighting. I yield back.
Generally.